The morning air was cool against Jisoo's skin as she ran along the Han River path. Seoul was just waking up, the first rays of sunlight glinting off the tall buildings across the water. She checked her watch, 6:30 a.m. Perfect timing. She would finish her run and still have 2 hours before her first class. Jisoo Kim was 19, with short black hair pulled back in a tight ponytail and eyes that stayed focused on the path ahead. She wasn't tall, only 163 centimeters, but her body was strong from years of training. 5 days a week at the kickboxing gym had built muscle that most university students didn't have. 2 more kilometers, she told herself, picking up her pace. Music played through her earbuds, drowning out the world around her. That's why she didn't hear it coming. The air changed first. It felt heavy, like before a storm. Then came the light, bright blue and surrounding her from all sides. Jisoo stopped running. Her feet wouldn't move anymore. "What?" she started to say, but the words died in her throat as she felt herself being lifted off the ground. The world around her, the river, the trees, the path, all faded away. For a moment, there was nothing but blue light and the feeling of floating. Then darkness took over. When Jisoo opened her eyes again, she wasn't on the running path anymore. The room around her was white and cold, with walls that curved upward to meet in the middle. No windows, no doors that she could see. The floor beneath her was hard but not quite like metal or concrete. Something different, something not from Earth. Jisoo sat up quickly, her heart pounding. "Hello," she called out. Her voice sounded strange, like it was being swallowed by the walls. "Is anyone there?" Pain shot through her head suddenly, sharp and hot. She pressed her hands against her temples and felt something small and hard just behind her right ear, something that hadn't been there before. "Welcome, Earth Representative," said a voice that seemed to come from inside her own head. The words weren't Korean or English, but somehow Jisoo understood them perfectly. "Who are you? Where am I?" Jisoo stood up, turning in a circle to look for the source of the voice. "I am Orientation Protocol Unit 7, the voice replied. "You have been selected as Earth's representative for the 512th Galactic Arena Tournament." Arena. Tournament. Jisoo shook her head. "No, there's a mistake. I need to go home. I have class today." "There is no mistake. Your physical attributes and combat history made you the optimal choice according to the selection algorithm." Jisoo touched the spot behind her ear again. "What did you put in my head?" "A neural translator. It allows us to communicate and will help you understand the other species." "Other species." Jisoo felt her legs go weak, but she forced herself to stay standing. "You're not human." "Correct. I am not." One section of the wall suddenly became transparent. Through it, Jisoo could see what looked like a massive hallway. Creatures moved through this hallway, some walking on 2 legs, others on 4 or 6. Some floated above the ground. They had scales, fur, tentacles. They were tall, short, wide, thin. None of them looked human. "This is impossible," Jisoo whispered. "You are aboard the Galactic Arena vessel," the voice explained. "Earth has recently been discovered and, as per Galactic Protocol, entered into the competition. Your performance will determine your planet's status and resource allocation." Jisoo pressed her hands against the transparent wall. "And if I refuse to participate, Earth will forfeit. The consequences would be significant." The wall became solid again, and part of it slid open to reveal a doorway. A figure stood there, human-shaped but clearly not human. Its skin was pale green, and it had 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. "Follow me," it said, the words appearing in Jisoo's mind through the translator. "Your processing will now begin." Jisoo took a deep breath. She thought about running, but to where? Instead, she squared her shoulders and stepped forward. Whatever this arena was, she would face it. She had no other choice. Jisoo followed the four-eyed alien down a long hallway. Everything around her hummed with strange energy. The walls glowed softly, and the floor felt like it was moving slightly under her feet. They passed through areas filled with creatures of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost like animals from Earth, if those animals had been mixed together and changed in strange ways. Others looked nothing like anything Jisoo had ever seen. In here, the alien guide said, stopping at a large door. The room they entered was smaller than Jisoo expected. Inside stood another human, a man who looked to be in his late 20s with short black hair and tired eyes. Another human. Jisoo gasped, relief washing over her. The man smiled slightly. "Hello, my name is Taiho. I'll be your handler." His Korean had an American accent. The four-eyed alien left, and the door closed behind it. "You speak Korean?" Jisoo asked. "I was born in Busan, but I grew up in California," Taiho explained. "I've been here for 3 years now." "Here? You mean?" "In space, yes. Working for the arena." Taiho gestured to a simple chair. "Please, sit down. We don't have much time." Jisoo sat, her mind racing with questions. What is this place? Why am I here? "The Galactic Arena is a competition," Taiho said. He pressed a button on a small device in his hand, and a 3D image appeared in the air between them, a massive stadium filled with strange creatures watching two fighters battle. Every known species sends champions to fight. The winners get resources, technology, and protection for their planets. And the losers? Taiho's face darkened. The losers don't get those things. So I have to fight. For Earth? Yes, Earth was recently discovered by the Galactic Council's exploration ships. According to their laws, all habitable planets must participate. But why me? Jisoo asked. "I'm just a student. I'm not a soldier or a professional fighter. The selection is done by AI. It analyzes everyone on a planet and picks the person with the best combination of physical ability, fighting skill, and adaptability." Taiho looked at her with something like pity. "Your kickboxing competitions and fitness data made you their choice." Jisoo shook her head in disbelief. "This is crazy. I can't fight aliens." "You have to," Taiho said simply, "or Earth gets marked as an uncooperative world. Trust me, you don't want that." He moved to a wall and touched it. The wall became transparent, revealing a large area below them. It looked like a training center, filled with different aliens practicing combat. Some used weapons Jisoo had never seen before. Others fought with their natural body parts, claws, tails, and things Jisoo couldn't even name. "Listen carefully," Taiho said, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Humans are considered the weakest species in the arena. We're physically weaker than the Dorak." He pointed to a large reptilian creature that was lifting what looked like a small car. "We're mentally slower than the Mun." He indicated a small, skinny alien with a huge head, "and we have none of the natural weapons of the Sauri." This time, he pointed to a crystalline being that seemed to be shooting energy from its hands. "Then what chance do I have?" Jisoo asked, fear creeping into her voice. "Honestly, not much," Taiho sighed. "But there's something you should know. The last human who fought here, he won 3 matches before he lost. No one expected that." "What happened to him?" Taiho looked away. "He didn't survive his 4th match." A loud buzzer sounded, making Jisoo jump. "That's our signal," Taiho said. "Time for processing. They need to scan you, register you officially." Jisoo stood up slowly. And then you train. You have 2 weeks before your first match. 2 weeks to learn how to fight aliens," Jisoo said. Her voice was flat, but her mind was racing. How could she possibly prepare for this? "I'll help you," Taiho said, putting a hand on her shoulder. "And so will your trainer, if he decides you're worth his time." "Who's my trainer?" "His name is Du Yun. He's human too. Been here even longer than me. Tahoe led her toward another door. Just don't expect him to be nice. Jisoo took a deep breath and stepped forward. 2 weeks to prepare for a fight she never asked for, in a place beyond her imagination, with the fate of Earth somehow resting on her shoulders. I'm ready, she said, though she didn't feel ready at all. Do-Yun was not what Jisoo expected. He was short and lean, with gray hair and a face full of wrinkles. He looked to be in his 60s, but moved like someone much younger. When Jisoo was brought to the training room, he was fighting a training robot with his bare hands. The robot was twice his size, but Do-Yun knocked it down with a series of quick moves. This is the new human champion, Do-Yun asked, not even out of breath. He looked Jisoo up and down. She's too small. She was chosen by the algorithm, Tahoe said. The algorithm is stupid. Do-Yun walked around Jisoo, studying her. What fighting style do you know, girl? Kickboxing, Jisoo answered. I've been training for 5 years. Do-Yun snorted. Kickboxing is for sports, not survival. You'll need more than that here. Jisoo felt her face grow hot. I'm a good fighter. I've won competitions. Against humans. Do-Yun pointed to a screen on the wall. It showed images of different aliens. These will be your opponents. They have claws, poison, extra limbs. Some can shock you with electricity. Others can move faster than your eyes can see. Then what am I supposed to do? Jisoo asked. Learn, adapt, or die. Do-Yun pressed a button on his wrist device. A table rose from the floor, covered with simple weapons, knives, sticks, small shields. In the arena, you'll be allowed to use basic weapons and protective gear. Nothing with advanced technology, since Earth doesn't have that yet. That doesn't seem fair, Jisoo said, if the other species get to use their technology. Nothing about the arena is fair, Do-Yun cut her off. Pick a weapon. Jisoo looked over the table. She had never trained with weapons before. She picked up a short staff, testing its weight. Not that, Do-Yun said. Too slow for your build. Try these. He handed her 2 short batons. Jisoo took them, surprised by how light they felt. What are they made of? Something not from Earth. Stronger than metal, lighter than plastic. Do-Yun stepped back. Now hit me. What? Hit me. Show me what you can do. Jisoo hesitated, then lunged forward, swinging one baton at Do-Yun's shoulder. He stepped aside easily and tapped her back as she went past him. Too slow. Again. For the next hour, Jisoo tried to land a hit on Do-Yun. She never even came close. With each failure, her frustration grew. Enough, Do-Yun finally said. Put those down and show me your kickboxing. Jisoo set the batons aside, relieved to be back in familiar territory. She took her fighting stance. This time, she moved faster, using the kicks and punches she knew well. Do-Yun blocked most of them, but she managed to graze his shoulder once with a high kick. Do-Yun nodded slightly, the first sign of approval he'd shown. Your reaction time is good. Better than most humans I've seen. Is that enough to win? Jisoo asked, catching her breath. No, but it's something to work with. Do-Yun walked to another part of the room. Let's test your pain tolerance. The next few days were the hardest of Jisoo's life. She trained from early morning until late at night. Do-Yun pushed her beyond what she thought she could handle. She learned new fighting techniques, how to use different weapons, and how to spot weaknesses in opponents much larger and stronger than herself. At night, her body ached so much she could barely sleep. But each morning, she got up and did it all again. On the 5th day, as Jisoo was practicing throws against a training dummy, Do-Yun watched her with narrowed eyes. You're learning faster than I expected, he said. Is that good? Jisoo asked. It's interesting. Most species have fixed patterns of movement. Humans adapt, change. It's why the Council fears your kind. Fears us, But you said humans are the weakest species. Physically, yes. But there's something about humans. Du Yun's voice trailed off. He shook his head. It doesn't matter. Your first match is in 9 days. You'll fight a Koran warrior in a high-gravity arena. Will I win? Jisoo asked. Du Yun looked at her for a long moment. A week ago, I would have said no. Now, maybe you have a small chance. It wasn't much encouragement, but it was enough. Jisoo picked up her batons and continued training. The day of Jisoo's first match arrived. She stood in a small room, wearing the simple protective gear that Du Yun had selected for her. Black pants and a fitted jacket made of a material that felt like leather, but was much stronger. Her hands were wrapped with protective tape, and she held her 2 batons tightly. Remember what we practiced, Du Yun said. The Koran fighter has 6 arms and is 3 times your weight. Don't try to match strength with strength. Use speed and the terrain, Jisoo said, repeating the lessons they had gone over many times. Stay moving. Find high ground when possible. Taiho entered the room, his face serious. It's time. The arena is ready. Jisoo took a deep breath. What will it look like? They've set it for high gravity and rocky terrain, Taiho explained. It favors the Koran. Their home planet has stronger gravity than Earth. Great, Jisoo muttered. So I'll feel heavy and slow, and my opponent will feel right at home. You can still back out, Taiho said quietly. Forfeit the match. Du Yun shook his head. If she forfeits, Earth loses standing. The consequences could be worse than losing a fair fight. A loud buzzer sounded. The door in front of them slid open, revealing a long tunnel with bright light at the end. That's your entrance, Taiho said. We'll be watching from the handler's box. Jisoo nodded, her mouth suddenly dry. She stepped into the tunnel and began walking toward the light. With each step, she felt her body growing heavier as the gravity increased. By the time she reached the end of the tunnel, her legs felt like they were made of lead. She emerged into the arena. It was enormous. A circular space bigger than any stadium on Earth. The ground was uneven, covered with rocks and small hills. Above, thousands of aliens sat in rising seats, watching. Some looked like blobs of jelly. Others had too many eyes or limbs that bent in strange ways. They made noises that sounded like a mix of cheers and growls. On the far side of the arena, another tunnel opened. Jisoo's opponent stepped out. The Koran was tall and thick, with rough brown skin that looked like tree bark. It had 6 muscular arms and walked on 2 short, powerful legs. Its face had no nose, just a wide mouth and 4 small, dark eyes. A voice boomed through the arena, speaking in a language Jisoo didn't understand. But her translator implant converted the words. Welcome to the 512th Galactic Arena. Today's NMATC. Korean CHAM Pion GRAK Viras U as Earth CAM Pion Jodi Ashu. The crowd roared. Many were laughing, pointing at Jisoo. They could see how small she looked compared to the Koran fighter. Jisoo gripped her batons tighter. The gravity pulled at her, making even standing difficult. But she remembered Du Yun's words. Use the environment. Make it work for you. A loud horn sounded. The match had begun. Grak, the Koran fighter, charged forward surprisingly fast for its size. Jisoo waited until the last second, then rolled to the side. Even with the heavy gravity, she moved faster than the Koran expected. One of its massive fists hit the ground where she had been, cracking the rocky surface. Jisoo scrambled up a small hill, trying to get to higher ground. The Koran followed, using all 6 arms to climb quickly. Jisoo waited at the top, then kicked a large rock down at her opponent. It struck the Koran in the face, making it growl in anger. For the next 10 minutes, Jisoo played a dangerous game of cat and mouse. She couldn't match the Koran's strength, so she didn't try. Instead, she used the rocky terrain to stay just out of reach, striking quickly with her batons when she saw an opening, then moving away before the Korin could grab her. The crowd's laughter had stopped. Now they watched with interest. This wasn't going as they expected. Jisoo's arms and legs burned from the effort of moving in the heavy gravity. She couldn't keep this up much longer. She needed to end this. Remembering one of Du Yun's lessons, Jisoo ran toward a steep slope of loose rocks. The Korin followed, just as she hoped it would. When it was halfway up the slope, Jisoo turned and charged directly at it. The Korin raised its arms to grab her. But instead of attacking, Jisoo dropped and slid between its legs, striking at the backs of its knees with her batons as she passed. The Korin lost its balance on the unstable ground and fell, rolling down the slope and smashing into a large boulder at the bottom. Before it could get up, Jisoo was on its back, pressing one baton against its throat and the other against what Du Yun had told her was a sensitive nerve cluster at the base of its skull. The Korin went still. Then, slowly, it tapped the ground 3 times with one hand, the signal for surrender. The arena went silent. Then the announcer's voice boomed. "Wer, Earth Cam Pion, Joey Ishu." Jisoo stepped back, hardly believing what had just happened. She had won her first match. Word of Jisoo's victory spread quickly through the massive space station. As she walked through the corridors with Taiho the next day, she noticed many aliens turning to stare at her. Some looked curious. Others seemed angry. "Why are they all looking at me?" Jisoo asked. "Because you weren't supposed to win," Taiho explained. "Many species bet against you. They lost a lot of money." "Is that bad?" "It could be. Some powerful groups control the betting. They don't like surprises." Taiho lowered his voice. "Be careful. You've become noticeable." In the training room, Du Yun was waiting for them. For once, he almost looked pleased. "You did well," he said. "Your victory has caught the attention of the Galactic Council." "Is that good?" Jisoo asked. "It means they're watching you now." Du Yun activated a screen on the wall. It showed images of different alien species. These are the Council representatives. They rule the known galaxy. They decide which planets get resources, which get protection, and which get harvested. Jisoo's eyes widened. Harvested. Planets that fail in the arena often become mining colonies. Their people are sometimes taken as workers. "You mean slaves," Jisoo said quietly. Du Yun nodded. "Now you understand what you're fighting for." The door slid open, and a tall, thin human man with gray eyes walked in. He wore strange clothes that seemed to shimmer slightly as he moved. "Who are you?" Taiho asked, stepping in front of Jisoo protectively. "My name is Yoon Seok," the man said. "I need to speak with Earth's champion." "Alone?" "No," Taiho said firmly. "Any message for Jisoo goes through me." Yoon Seok smiled slightly. "I've been in space for 30 years, boy. I know things about the arena that you don't." "It's okay," Jisoo said. "I'll talk to him." Du Yun studied Yoon Seok for a moment, then nodded. 5 minutes. We'll be outside." When they were alone, Yoon Seok's calm expression changed to one of urgency. "Listen carefully," he said. "The arena isn't what you think. It's not just a competition. It's a way for the Council to control which species join the galactic community." "What do you mean?" Jisoo asked. "Species that showed too much promise, too much potential. They tend to have accidents in the arena. Fatal accidents." Jisoo thought about this. "You're saying they might try to kill me because I won one match?" "Not yet. But if you keep winning, yes." Yoon Seok glanced at the door. "There's a resistance. Former champions like me who learned the truth. We're working to expose the Council's real agenda." "Which is what?" "They fear humans." Yoon Seok's voice dropped even lower. "Our adaptability, our creativity. These are dangerous traits in their eyes. Earth was supposed to lose quickly and be marked as a low-threat planet. But I won. Yes, and now they'll be watching more closely. Yoon Seok pressed something small into Jisoo's hand. If you need help, use this to contact me. Trust no one else, not even your handlers. Before Jisoo could ask more questions, the door opened and Do-yeon walked back in. Time's up, he said. Yoon Seok straightened, his face becoming neutral again. Good luck in your next match, Earth Champion. He nodded politely to Do-yeon and left. What did he want? Do-yeon asked. Jisoo hesitated, then slipped the small device Yoon Seok had given her into her pocket. Just to wish me luck. Do-yeon looked like he didn't believe her, but he didn't push. Your next match is in 6 days. Your opponent will be from the Mun Collective. The ones with the big heads. The smart ones. Yes, they use technology and mental attacks. They'll try to confuse you, make you see things that aren't there. Jisoo felt a wave of tiredness wash over her. One battle won, but the war was just beginning. And now she had to worry about hidden agendas and possible betrayal. Let's train, she said, pushing her doubts aside. Show me how to fight a Mun. That night in her small room, Jisoo examined the device Yoon Seok had given her. It was a simple metal disc, no bigger than a coin. She wondered if she should trust him. Could this be a trap? Or was he telling the truth about the arena's dark purpose? As she was thinking, her door slid open. Taeho stood there, his face pale. What's wrong? Jisoo asked. There's something you need to know, Taeho said, his voice shaking slightly. It's about what happens to the losers in the arena. They don't just go home. What do you mean, they don't go home? Jisoo asked, pulling Taeho into her room and closing the door. Taeho looked around nervously. Most losers in the arena don't die in the fights. They're captured after. Some become workers. Others are studied. The ones who fought well are sometimes sold to private collectors. Sold, like slaves. Jisoo felt sick. Yes, and there's more. Taeho took a deep breath. I've been ordered to help your next opponent. Jisoo stepped back. You're betraying me. I have no choice. Taeho's eyes were full of fear. They found my family on Earth. My parents and little sister. They said if I don't help, they'll be collected for study. Jisoo wanted to be angry, but she understood. She would do the same to protect her own family. What have you told them? She asked. Your fighting style, your weaknesses, how you rely on speed and surprise. Taeho looked down at his hands. I'm sorry, Jisoo. Jisoo was quiet for a moment, thinking. Then she nodded slowly. Keep helping them. What? Taeho looked confused. Keep feeding them information, but not the real information. Jisoo felt a plan forming in her mind. From now on, when we train in the main room where people can see, I'll fight one way. But when we're alone with Do-yeon, I'll train differently. Understanding dawned on Taeho's face, a false fighting style. Yes, let them think they know my moves. Let them think they know how to beat me. Jisoo smiled slightly, but they'll be preparing for a fighter who doesn't exist. The next morning, Jisoo explained her plan to Do-yeon in the private training room. Clever, he said, nodding slightly, but dangerous. You'll have less time to practice your real techniques. I don't have a choice. I need to protect Taeho and his family. Do-yeon studied her for a moment. You humans, and your loyalty. Other species don't understand it. They see it as a weakness. Is it? No, it's a strength they don't recognize. Do-yeon moved to the center of the room. Let's begin. For the next 5 days, Jisoo trained openly using obvious tactics and predictable moves. When hidden cameras watched, she showed weakness in her left side defense and relied heavily on right-handed strikes. But in secret, she practiced fighting with her left hand leading and developed new defensive moves. On the day before her match, Yoon Seok appeared again. finding Jisoo alone in a corridor. "Be careful tomorrow," he said quietly. "The Mun fighter is more dangerous than they're telling you." "How do you know what they're telling me?" Jisoo asked. "I have sources." Yoon Seok glanced around. "The resistance has been watching you. We think you might be important." "Important how?" "You're the first human to win a match in the new arena cycle. If you keep winning, it could change how the Council sees Earth." "Isn't that good?" "It's complicated." Yoon Seok leaned closer. "The arena isn't just a competition. It's a containment strategy. They use it to identify species that might threaten the current power balance." "And what happens to those species?" Jisoo asked, though she was afraid she knew the answer. "Their champions have accidents. Their planets get isolated or worse." Yoon Seok straightened up as a group of aliens walked past. "I need to go. Remember, nothing in the arena is what it seems." That night, Jisoo couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about everything she had learned. The arena was corrupt. Her handler had been forced to betray her. And somewhere back on Earth, her family had no idea that their daughter was fighting for the planet's future. She took out the small metal disc Yoon Seok had given her. Could she trust him? She wasn't sure. But his warnings matched what she had seen with her own eyes. A soft knock on her door made her quickly hide the disc. Do-Yun entered, his face serious. "It's time you knew everything," he said. "About the arena, about why humans are really here, and about what's at stake in your next match." Jisoo sat up. "Tell me." "The truth is bigger and darker than you imagine," Do-Yun said. "And it starts with the real reason I've been in space for 20 years. The arena looked different today. Instead of rocky terrain, the entire floor was covered with water. Small islands dotted the surface, but most of the fighting area was a deep blue pool. They've set it for the Sori's advantage," Do-Yun said as Jisoo prepared for her match. "The Sori are partly water creatures. They can breathe underwater for up to 20 minutes. And how long can humans breathe underwater?" Jisoo asked, already knowing the answer. "Not long," Do-Yun replied. "But remember what I told you last night, about why humans are feared." Jisoo nodded. What Do-Yun had revealed was still hard to believe. Humans weren't new to the galactic community as they had been told. Earth had been observed for centuries, but kept isolated because the Council feared human adaptability. The arena wasn't just entertainment. It was a way to identify and control potentially dangerous species before they developed space travel on their own. "Your opponent today is Lyra, the Sori champion," Taeho said, checking the screen on his wrist device. "She's genetically modified for combat and has technology far beyond what you're allowed to use." "Sounds fair," Jisoo said with a small smile. "Here." Do-Yun handed Jisoo a small device. "Put this behind your ear, under your hair where it won't be seen. It will help you hold your breath longer. It's against the rules, but they're already cheating." Jisoo placed the device behind her ear, feeling it attached to her skin. "Will it be enough?" "It will give you 4 minutes underwater instead of 1 or 2. Make them count." The buzzer sounded. It was time. Jisoo walked through the tunnel to the arena. The crowd was much larger this time. Word of the human who kept winning against the odds had spread. Some aliens were even waving signs with her name. She stepped out onto a small platform at the edge of the water. On the opposite side, her opponent emerged. The Sori was beautiful in a strange way, tall and graceful with skin that shimmered like light through water. But there was nothing beautiful about the weapons attached to its arms or the cold look in its large silver eyes. "Today's HFY MATG," the announcer's voice boomed. "Sora CHAM Pion Lyra Verazu's Earth CAM Pion Jai Ishu." The crowd roared. Jisoo noticed many were pointing and talking excitedly. Betting was probably heavy today. The horn sounded to start the match. Immediately, Lyra dove into the water with barely a splash. Jisoo stayed on her platform, watching the water carefully. She could see Lyra moving beneath the surface, circling like a shark. This was the strategy they had expected. The Sori would try to pull her into the water where Jisoo would be at a severe disadvantage. "Come out and fight," Jisoo called, trying to sound braver than she felt. Water exploded upward as Lyra leaped onto the platform. Her hands glowed with energy, some kind of advanced weapon that Jisoo knew could burn through her protective gear easily. Jisoo dodged the first blast, rolling to the side and nearly falling into the water. She swung her batons at Lyra's legs, but the Sori jumped easily over the attack. For a few minutes, they fought on the small platform. Jisoo used the fake fighting style she had practiced openly, showing the weaknesses that Taeho had reported. Lyra smiled, clearly recognizing the patterns she had been told about. Then, just as Do-yeon had predicted, Lyra made her move. She grabbed Jisoo's arm and pulled them both into the water. The cold shock hit Jisoo hard. She could see Lyra's smile widen underwater. The Sori thought the fight was over now. In the water, the Sori moved with incredible speed and grace, while Jisoo felt slow and clumsy. Lyra's hands glowed again, preparing another energy blast at close range. But instead of panicking, Jisoo stopped struggling, and then she changed tactics completely. Using the real fighting style she had practiced in secret, Jisoo twisted in a way the Sori wasn't expecting. She broke free from Lyra's grip and struck at the weapon on the Sori's right arm, damaging it. Surprise showed in Lyra's silver eyes. This wasn't the human fighter she had been told about. Jisoo kicked hard, pushing herself toward one of the small islands. Her lungs were starting to burn, but the device behind her ear was working. She still had time. Lyra recovered quickly and swam after Jisoo, grabbing her ankle and pulling her back into deeper water. They fought in the silent blue world, bubbles escaping from Jisoo's mouth as she struggled to hold her breath. The Sori was stronger and faster in the water, but Jisoo had surprise on her side. Each time Lyra expected one move, Jisoo did something completely different. Finally, Jisoo managed to break away and reach an island. She pulled herself up, gasping for air. She had seconds at most before Lyra would attack again, but those seconds were enough. As Lyra burst from the water, Jisoo was ready. She had positioned herself perfectly, and as the Sori lunged forward, Jisoo used her opponent's momentum against her. With a move Do-yeon had taught her in secret, Jisoo flipped Lyra over and slammed her hard against the ground. Before the Sori could recover, Jisoo pressed her batons against the nerve points Do-yeon had identified, the few vulnerable spots in Sori anatomy. Lyra went still. Then, slowly, she tapped the ground 3 times. The match was over. Jisoo had won. The arena was completely silent. No one had expected this outcome. A human defeating a Sori in an underwater arena should have been impossible. As the announcer finally declared her the winner, Jisoo looked up at the council's private viewing box. Several tall figures stood watching her with what seemed like alarm. She had just become more than an amusing underdog. She had become a threat. "You need to come with me." Now, Yoon Seok appeared outside Jisoo's room just hours after her victory against the Sori champion. His normally calm face looked worried. "What's happening?" Jisoo asked. "The council is meeting about you. I have friends who can get us into the restricted areas. We need to show you something." Jisoo hesitated. She still wasn't sure if she could trust Yoon Seok. But after everything she had learned about the arena, she needed to know more. "Okay," she said. "Let me tell Taeho." "No," Yoon Seok said sharply. "No one can know where we're going. Not even him." They moved through the station using service corridors that Jisoo didn't know existed. Yoon Seok used a small device to open doors that should have been locked. "How do you know all these passages?" Jisoo asked. "I've been here for 30 years. I've had time to learn." Yoon Seok stopped at a wall that looked solid. He pressed his hand against it in a pattern, and a hidden door slid open. "In here." The room they entered was filled with screens and strange technology. 3 other humans looked up as they entered. 2 women and 1 man, all older than Jisoo. This is our base, Yoon Seok explained. We call ourselves the Truth Keepers. You're all human, Jisoo said, surprised. Yes, all former champions or handlers who learned too much. One of the women stepped forward. My name is Sunmi. I was Earth's champion 40 years ago. 40 years? But Earth only joined the arena recently. Sunmi smiled sadly. That's what they told you. It's a lie. Earth has been sending champions for over a century. But each time, memories are erased, records changed. Why? Because humans keep doing too well. The other man said, I'm Junho. I'd won 4 matches before they arranged an accident for me. I was supposed to die, but Yoon Seok saved me. Jisoo tried to process this. So everything I've been told is a lie. Not everything, Yoon Seok said, but enough to hide the truth. The Council fears humans because we adapt too quickly. Most species evolve over millions of years to suit their environments. Humans change their environments to suit themselves. Sunmi moved to one of the screens. We've hacked into the Council's archives. There's something you need to see before your final match. The screen showed a human man who looked similar to Jisoo. This is Han, Sunmi explained. Your final opponent. He looks human, Jisoo said, confused. He's not. He's a synthetic organism designed to look human. Sunmi pressed more buttons, and the image changed to show Han's insides, metal and strange materials where organs should be. He's been created specifically to beat you. That's against the arena rules, Jisoo said. Champions must be natural members of their species. Exactly. The Council is cheating because they're afraid of what will happen if you win. Yoon Seok looked at Jisoo seriously. They fear that if Earth becomes a recognized galactic power, humans will spread too quickly, adapt too well. What do they think we'll do? Jisoo asked. Change things, Junho said simply. Most species in the galactic community have been stable for thousands of years. They don't like change. Humans create change wherever they go. Jisoo thought about this. So my final match is rigged to make sure I lose. Yes, Sunmi said. Han looks human, but has strength and speed no human could match. He knows all fighting styles from Earth and has been programmed with your specific techniques. Then how can I possibly win? That's why we brought you here, Yoon Seok said. We have a plan. But it's dangerous, and you might not survive even if it works. Jisoo looked at the image of Han on the screen. He seemed so human, but he was a machine designed to destroy her and keep Earth isolated. Everything she had worked for, every victory she had won, was about to be erased. Tell me the plan, she said. Yoon Seok nodded to Junho, who pulled up a new image, a detailed map of the arena. First, you need to know that the final arena will be designed to look like Seoul. They want to distract you with familiar surroundings. Junho pointed to several locations on the map. These are weak points in the arena's structure. We can't beat Han with strength, Sunmi said, but we might be able to expose him for what he is. Jisoo studied the map carefully. And if we succeed, what happens then? The Council will be forced to acknowledge their deception, Yoon Seok said. The other species will learn they've been lied to. It might be enough to force change. And Earth. Earth gets a real chance, not just as another controlled planet, but as a true member of the galactic community. Jisoo nodded slowly, a plan forming in her mind. I'll need help from Taeho and Do-yeon. Can they be trusted? Yoon Seok asked. Jisoo thought about her trainer and her handler, both humans caught in the Council's web just like her. The day of the final match arrived. Jisoo stood in the preparation room with Do-yeon and Taeho. After learning the truth, both men had agreed to help with the plan. Remember, Do-yeon said, Han looks human, but isn't. He won't get tired. He won't feel pain. And he knows every fighting style on Earth. But he doesn't know me, Jisoo said. checking her buttons one last time. She had modified them slightly, with Yoon Seok's help. Taho touched the small device on his wrist. Sun Mai and Junho are in position. They'll broadcast the evidence of Han's true nature once you get him into place. The buzzer sounded. It was time. Jisoo walked through the tunnel into the arena and gasped. It really was Seoul, her home city perfectly recreated. There were the tall buildings, the Han River, even the university she attended. It was so real it made her heart ache. On the other side of the arena, Han appeared. He looked completely human, a Korean man in his 20s with a friendly face. If Jisoo hadn't seen the truth, she would never have guessed he was a machine. Welcome to the final match of the 512th Galactic Arena. The announcer's voice boomed. Earth Campion, Jai Asu Veras US. Earth Campion Han. The crowd murmured in confusion. Two humans fighting each other. It had never happened before. Jisoo understood the council's plan. No matter who won, it would look like a human victory. But Han wasn't human. The horn sounded, and Han moved with incredible speed. One moment he was across the arena. The next he was right in front of Jisoo, his fist stopping just short of her face. "I don't want to hurt you," he said in perfect Korean. His voice sounded kind, but his eyes were empty. "Surrender now." Jisoo responded by swinging her buttons. Han dodged easily, moving faster than any human could. For several minutes, Jisoo tried to land a hit, but Han was too quick, too strong. Jisoo took a hard blow to her side, feeling ribs crack. She stumbled back, breathing hard. This wasn't working. Han was too powerful. "Remember the plan," she whispered to herself. She needed to get Han to a specific place, a construction site near what looked like her university. Jisoo began to run through the familiar streets of the fake Seoul. Han followed, clearly confused by her retreat. The crowd watched on giant screens as the chase moved through the city. "You can't escape," Han called. "Why are you running?" Jisoo didn't answer. She was saving her breath. Every step hurt her injured ribs, but she kept going until she reached the construction site. Tall metal beams rose into the air, with platforms and equipment scattered around. Han cornered her against a large concrete wall. "End this now," he said. "You fought well for a human. That's the difference between us," Jisoo said, loud enough for her voice to be picked up by the arena's microphones. "I am human. You're not." She pressed a hidden button on her buttons. They began to glow with energy, technology Yoon Seok had smuggled to her, similar to what the Sori used. "This isn't possible," Han said, stepping back in surprise. "Earth doesn't have this technology." "You're right," Jisoo said. "Just like Earth isn't supposed to have synthetic champions." She struck at Han with her charged batons. The energy disrupted something in his systems, and for a moment, his human appearance flickered, revealing the metal underneath. At that exact moment, Sun Mai and Junho activated their program. Every screen in the arena suddenly showed images from the council's secret files. Proof that Han was a machine, proof that the council had been cheating, proof that humans had been in the arena for a century. The crowd erupted in shock and anger. Han recovered quickly and lunged at Jisoo. She didn't try to dodge. Instead, she led him exactly where she wanted, under a massive metal beam held up by temporary supports. With one precisely aimed strike, Jisoo hit the support. The beam began to fall. "You'll die too," Han said, realizing her plan. "Maybe," Jisoo replied. "But I'll die as what I am. You were never alive." She rolled away at the last second, not quite fast enough to escape completely. The beam crashed down, crushing Han and pinning Jisoo's leg beneath it. The arena fell silent. Then the crowd began to roar, not in celebration of violence, but in anger at the deception they had witnessed. As medical teams rushed to Jisoo, she looked up at the council's viewing box. The members were fleeing, their fraud exposed to the entire galaxy. Through the pain, Jisoo smiled. She might not have won the match in the traditional way, but she had won something more important. The truth was out. Earth would have its real place among the stars. And it had all been accomplished by a girl from Earth, fighting in an arena built for warriors.